So, welcome to Bridgemaster Daily. Today we will attempt our first level 5 hand, so I'm a bit excited how that goes, and maybe a bit terrified. Although I have done these hands once a blue moon ago, maybe 3 or 4 years, but to be brutally honest, I don't remember a single thing about those hands. So let's enter the practice area on Bridge Base. And let's try the first hand of level 5, which I've never completely successfully solved anyway. Okay, so my partner opened the diamond, which is the correct opening. We replied with a 1-0 trumpet. One could make an argument that the length in clubs provides 2 extra length points, and therefore the hand can be evaluated at 11 points and should be replied by 2 clubs, but the double to jack in diamond is a very, very weak support, so I can totally understand the 1-0 trumpet instead, evaluating the hand at maximum 10 high card points. And partner invites us to play 3-0 trump by bidding 2-0 trump, and since we are, of course, in the upper range of our 6 to 10 points, we of course accept this invitation and bid 3-0 trump. In no trump contracts, the first thing one should usually consider is what is our best and our worst suit. And that usually just accounts for length, not necessarily strength of the suit. It's mostly about length, and as you can see, diamonds and clubs are our 2 longest suits, so those are the suits in which we would like to develop some tricks, and our shortest suit is spades, so that's the suit in which the defense would like to develop tricks. And no trump contracts are often a race who develops their length tricks first. Now in spades we only have 4 cards, which is really not good, because you can calculate if you have 4 cards or less in a suit, you can pretty much never allow the opponents to gain the lead in that suit and to develop their length tricks in that suit, because yes, you may stop the suit twice in our case, but if they get to play the suit 3 times, then that implies that they also will make 2 tricks in other suits, and for every entry the opponents get, they make a trick in another suit to drive out one of your stoppers. So essentially, when you have 9 cards missing in the suit, you are guaranteed that one opponent has 5 of them by the simple mathematical pigeonhole principle, I guess, and that's that. And again, for every trick you make in that suit, if they get to play that suit again, they will inevitably have made a trick in another suit instead. So if they get to play their 5 spades, that implies that they will have made 5 tricks, and that will sink your contract. So we cannot allow the opponents to develop their long spade suit. That's our big issue in this hand. I also don't like the hard suit very much, but compared to the spade suit, the hard suit isn't a big danger, I guess. We also unfortunately cannot afford to duck this first trick, since we have 2 stoppers, and if we duck the first trick, we will only remain with 1 stopper, which is worse. So we need to decide on whether we want to develop our tricks in clubs or diamonds. We have 6 high card tricks, so we need to develop 3 more tricks in another suit. And clubs and diamonds are equally long for our side, but we can only focus on 1 suit, because we will never have time to develop both of them. And it looks like we need to make our 3 extra tricks, which we need for No trump in diamonds exclusively, because developing the clubs would just take too long, because we can the king will always make a trick, and we cannot deny both the jack and the 10 from at least one of those cards from making another trick in clubs. And once we lose two tricks in clubs, the opponents get to play spades twice, and that means they will develop their long tricks, and our contract is down. So we can only afford to make one more loser, and therefore we have to play on diamonds. Now, how do we do this? So the issue is, of course, probably a 4-1 distribution of the diamonds, because if the diamonds split 3-2, there's no issue. We can just draw the ace and king and give up one diamond trick, then the diamonds the diamonds are established, and we can always reach the dummy either with the king of spades or with the ace of hearts. It doesn't even matter in that case, and catch our remaining diamonds. But since this is a level 5 hand, and also in general, once again, you should never just count on a suit splitting 3-2. That's a bit oversimplified thinking, and only it's only worth it if you really have nothing else left, and the jack of diamond should provide us at least some other possibilities. But which 4-1 distribution does help? We can always finesse to the jack, so by playing a low diamond from north hand towards the jack. Now, if West has 4 diamonds with the queen, I don't see any hope at all. Because West will then take our jacks, play spades back, and he will stop diamond another time, and once he gets his diamond trick, he will switch to spade, and our contract is down. So I don't see hope for this scenario. I should think about other scenarios, I guess. So, interesting scenario probably is what would happen if, for example, East, let's say, has the queen of diamonds as a singleton. Because then it's advised that we duck a low diamond trick first to his queen, and then we are able to catch the 8th king and also the jack of diamonds. Now we need to be a little bit careful because the jack is blockaded, but we can always relieve the blockade with the ace of hearts, I guess. And probably the king of spades also, if we decide to keep it. That actually should work against either opponent, so I think one strategy could be to just take the spade trick with the ace and play and duck the 2 of diamonds in the second trick, and just hope for either opponent to produce a singleton queen. Because they cannot destroy our entries. They can attack one entry, either the hearts or the spades. But then we will just switch back to the jack of diamonds and enter dummy again with the other entry, and then draw the ace and king. And then we should have freed the diamond suit. So that's one possible strategy, but that only works again if the queen is singleton in either hand. Are there any other scenarios in which we can win? Except for a 3-2 split or the queens being singleton. 3-2 splits are never a problem. If the queen doesn't produce as a singleton, we can always return to playing the ace and king and just hoping for a 3-2 split of diamonds. That's always the last hope, basically. Is there really anything else to hope for in this hand? That's the big question. What happens, for example, if there's like a singleton 10 or something? But no, I mean the singleton 10 doesn't really provide us anything because we don't have the 9 or the 8 or any cards below it either, so the 10 is basically equivalent to any other diamond. I think this is really our only chance to take the first trick with the ace in our hand and then play a low diamond. I'm just wondering what this queen of clubs in dummy is all about, because this isn't there for purely decorative reasons. There has to be some merit to the queen of clubs in some line of play, but I don't really see it, to be honest. Yeah, let's try it, and maybe we have to try again. But I'm not totally convinced, but okay, I will take this, and I will just duck the first round of diamonds and hope for the queen to produce. Yes, okay, now it's quite simple. And you see why it was important to keep both dummy entries, because the opponent can attack one of those entries, either spades or hearts, but that's not a problem since we can now unblock our jack and enter the dummy again through the other entry. And then we get to run our diamond suit. Phew. I mean, I'm not really satisfied with this, but on the other hand, I don't see any other distribution apart from 3-2 distributions in which we would have any chance of making our contract in the first place. So then we just have to hope for the unlikely distribution in which we can make our contract. Of course, it's better than having a 0% chance. Yeah, the queen of clubs, I still don't know what that's all about. Because we were never going to establish the club suit. That just takes way too long and the opponents are way quicker with their spades. So, yeah, we will just take this trick and relinquish the rest. Let's see the official solution to this hand. West leads the queen of clubs, queen of spades. South should try to take 5 diamond tricks, yes. If diamonds are 3-2, there will be no problem. Consider the diamond suit. South has advantage to guard against 4 diamonds to the queen in East's hand. Okay, what is that? Yeah, that safety play would amount to playing the 3 of diamonds from North's hand. The problem with this is I don't have enough entries to North, I think, to play this line. I mean, if I